investigations that change the way you see.
How many times has your car been stolen?
5 times. Yeah.
What? Do you think that you're a responsible owner of tigers?
I damn sure do.
Heartwarming moments that change the way you feel.
Amazing.
Now available in a place that changes the way you watch TV. Inside Edition, streaming.
It's a daring escape from a house that's about to go up in flames.
Come on here.
And that hero herding the 2 little ones to safety is a babysitter. 15-year-old Savannah Strother was babysitting this 1-year-old and her 3-year-old big brother. She even rescues the family dog. We spoke to Savannah today.
What was going through your mind? Were you terrified?
I don't know, it's just kind of a blur. Like, I just remember running out and feeling the heat on my back.
It's really amazing what she was able to do, especially for a 15-year-old, to not panic and to be able to get the kids out safely before the fire spread to that house it's really unbelievable.
The humble babysitter received an award from the local fire department, officially making her a hometown hero. Great job, Savannah.
Now video that will give any parent chills. A group of kids comes running home after they say a stranger tried to lure one of them into his SUV. Thankfully, their mom was there and the suspected bad guy took off. Lisa Guerrero has details.
It's a scary sight. Youngsters fleeing after they say a motorist tried to lure them into his SUV. The suspect actually got out of the car and chased one of the boys.
He just tried to abduct us!
Their screams alerted mom, Jenna Skolnick. The quick-thinking mom was able to snap a photo of the suspect's license plate. She also got an image of the guy who turned around and jumped back into the passenger seat.
I just thought to myself, if this isn't a joke and if they have him, I need their license plate to be able to find them.
There were at least 2 men in the SUV. Dallas police say a second vehicle, this dark pickup truck, may have also been involved. The 2 vehicles had pulled up next to each other before the white SUV backed up closer to the children.
He came up my car, asked me to come in. Someone trying to kidnap Jay!
What did he say to try to lure you to his car?
He said, like, there's a football player in the back of the car. Go to the back and talk to him. And I said, hell no, I don't talk to strangers, and I ran away. Then he got out of the car and started chasing me.
Earlier in the day, 3 miles away, a similar terrifying situation. This teen is cowering behind a car, trying to hide from a driver who she says had been following her as she walked to school. The high school student says the man drove back and forth several times, each time going slower and slower. She says he also kept staring at her. She ended up running to a neighbor's door and asking for help.
I could tell that she was visibly shaken and upset, so I just asked her what was wrong, and she said this man had been following her. She knew this guy was tracking her. She reached out for help when she needed it. I'm just glad that we could be there and give her a safe place to go.
Police do not believe the 2 cases are related. In the meantime, they're advising parents to walk their kids to school or the bus stop just to be safe.
I want you to all stay together.
How proud are you of your sons?
I'm so proud, and they were so brave, and I'm so grateful that they did the right thing.
He just tried to abduct us!
Oh my God. Donnie, stand up.
Little Donnie got himself into a pickle. Actually, a pineapple-themed stool from Michael's. His mom, Ebony Chappell, says her 3-year-old really stumped her by getting stuck in this piece of decor.
So my first response when I walked in the kitchen and saw him in there, I was just going to take a picture to send to my mom and to post on Facebook because I thought he was just being Donnie and he had just got inside. But after I took the picture and I started the video, I started to go ahead and take him out, and he wasn't, like, the top half of him would come out, but that's it.
She says other family members tried their hand at freeing Donnie, but to no avail. That's when they decided to call 911 for backup.
I think it was the fire chief. I saw him first, and he came over and sat down with Donnie, and he was like, put your hands over your head. And Donnie doesn't listen. But this one time, he stuck his hand up and he still wasn't going anywhere. They went out and there were some kind of scissors, and those didn't work.
Ebony says she didn't capture the moment Donnie was sprung from the container, but she says he just started running around the house like nothing happened. She says life with Donnie has been an adventure since he was born in the hospital's elevator.
I should have known, just his whole birth, I should have known that he was going to be the extra one.
Keeping the whole family and first responders on their toes.
A terrifying encounter as a shark goes after jet skiers. Watch as the bull shark menacingly circles one jet skier. Then, out of nowhere, he launches an attack.
This is an aggressive shark, dude.
This shark isn't done yet. The beast keeps circling, setting his sights on another jet skier.
Oh my God.
It's a little unnerving to see that aggressive of a bull shark within a few days of having 3 people attacked in a single day.
Andrew Cady was jet skiing with his son when they encountered the shark off Grayton Beach in the Florida Panhandle.
It literally launches itself out of the water towards the back end of my jet ski.
It happened just a few miles from where 3 swimmers were attacked over the weekend. 45-year-old Elizabeth Foley had to have part of her arm amputated, and a 15-year-old girl lost her hand and leg. We asked Joseph Ayulo, curator and co-founder at the Long Island Aquarium, whether it's conceivable that the same rogue shark is responsible for all these attacks.
I don't think you could rule out that it was just one individual cruising that area, but to say definitively either way, that would just be a guess.
A war on the beach as a woman who owns a waterfront home lashes out at a mother and son walking on a part of the beach that she says is her property. So does she have the right to draw a line in the sand? Here's Victoria Racano.
It's beach wars. A woman screams and swears as she demands beachgoers get off what she says is her property.
I'm not joking around.
The little boy is stunned.
That's not a thing.
People on social media are calling her Beach Karen. She can be seen roping off the beach in front of her multi-million-dollar home as she continues her tirade.
Get out of here! Now!
The moms and kids were visiting Laguna Beach's famed coastline along a stretch that's popular with tourists. They had to walk down the public steps to get to the beach.
You're in my property. Get moving now! Now you're in my property line. Move it.
Ma'am, we're walking.
Pretty low.
Waterfront property owners typically have the exclusive right to the sand directly in front of their home up till where the high tide rolls in. In the video, you can see there is a rope already blocking off beach access in front of some of the homes. It appears the furious property owner is throwing her rope way past that area. I spoke to Rosie Garcia, who recorded the footage.
As we're continuing to gather our things, she starts yelling and that we better not leave not one piece of trash. And, me and my family, we're Hispanic.
Do you think there were racial overtones going on?
Absolutely, yes. She threw the rope into our direction and saying that she's going to build a wall around us.
Get out of here!
Karen of the week.
The homeowner did not return our calls for comment. Meantime, the Coastal Commission tells us public access to the beach is a fundamental right in California, and they are investigating.
Call it instant karma. An arsonist set himself on fire while destroying a business. Police in Australia released surveillance video taken on July 6th in the hopes that someone will recognize the duo of suspects. Video shows they arrived at the barber shop on bicycles wearing helmets. After struggling with the door, one of the suspects beat the glass of the front door with a hammer. That person made enough of an opening for the second person to crawl inside. The empty barber chair seemed to be the only witness to the suspect deliberately dumping fuel all over the counter and floor. But the cameras caught everything from multiple angles. Lighting the place on fire didn't go the way this person planned. A small lighter ignited rags hanging from the gas can's nozzle. But the flare-up set both the barber shop and the suspected arsonist alight. With flames on his jacket, the person squeezed out of the broken glass door. He then employed the stop, drop, and roll technique to quell the fire. Both suspects took off on their bikes. It's been 6 weeks, and police are still looking for them.
Thieves break into a jewelry store and clean the place out. Now look at this shameless act. They celebrate pulling off the heist by giving each other congratulatory high fives and hugs. It's as if they won a Super Bowl, but in reality, they've destroyed a family-run business of 40 years in Los Angeles, leaving every display case empty.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
When you saw the thieves giving each other high fives, talk about your emotions.
Unbelievable. Celebrating like they just, won the local soccer game.
The theft was highly sophisticated, with the bad guys breaking through the vacant business next door, then cutting through the jewelry store's bathroom wall. Once inside, they used blowtorches to access the safes. It's just like the Hollywood movie, The Bank Job. Incredibly, the owner's son, Robert Gokassian, says the thieves spent more than 5 hours on each safe, working from Sunday into Monday.
You can see them using the jackhammers, blowtorches, pulling in like gas tanks to power those blowtorches.
Over a number of hours.
Yeah, 24 hours, yeah.
Just look at the torch safes and gaping holes where the locks used to be. He says the alarm system did not go off. He hopes this scene of high fives as they celebrate their score will lead to their undoing, because it's only during this boastful act that you can see their faces.
A child was pulled from the tracks mere seconds before a train sped through a station. CCTV footage released by the London North Eastern Railway shows a woman walking with one child, followed by another small child, who seemingly jogs to catch up. The child slows down and comes to a stop on the platform. They get on their knees and start to crawl backward, slipping off the raised platform onto the train tracks below. A few people run towards the action, but one man took the leap down to where the child was dangerously close to the rails. He lifts the child up and places him near the adult the child traveled with. Then, like a humble hero, the man climbs up from the tracks and walks away. Only 13 seconds after both the man and the fallen child were off of the tracks, a Grand Central Rail train sped by. Due to a selfless person being at the right place at the right time, authorities say this incident only resulted in minor injuries.
A dog chews on a phone charger. Then all of a sudden it sparks, causing a fire. Watch as the mattress goes up in flames. This fire was caught on a family's home camera in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Firefighters continue to warn about the dangers that these lithium-ion batteries can cause.
Lithium-ion batteries are known for storing a significant amount of energy in a compact space. However, when this energy is released uncontrollably, it can generate heat, produce flammable and toxic gases, and even lead to explosions.
Last year, a family from Cincinnati, Ohio says an iPhone exploded, setting fire overnight while 5 kids were sleeping upstairs.
What do you think started the fire?
I'm assuming the battery was so degraded that it overheated. We had no indication that the battery was degraded. The performance of the phone was working fine.
Firefighters say it's critical to follow manufacturer guidelines when using these batteries and only use approved chargers.
These incidents can occur due to various reasons, such as exposure to extreme heat, physical damage to the battery, overcharging, or even using incompatible charging equipment.
Plus, don't forget to keep them out of reach of children and pets. In this case, the 2 dogs were able to escape through the doggy door.
Guys, get off the hammock.
Just relaxing, this bear decided to chill on a hammock in a Vermont home's backyard, with another bear watching with delight. The bears seemed to stay put until they were scolded.
Guys, get off the hammock. Hey!
And then, finally, decided to listen.
It's the heart-stopping moment a car is crushed by a huge crane that suddenly collapsed. The drama is caught by a security camera. You see 2 pieces of the crane crashing down. How could anyone survive? Look, the driver gets out of the car and she is unscathed. It happened in April on the 3rd Avenue Bridge in Fort Lauderdale, but the video has just been released.
Ma'am, are you in the car? Ma'am, what hurts? Which car were you in?
My mind is pretty messed up.
Okay.
But if I could have my phone.
We'll get everything for you.
The woman in the Tesla right behind the crushed vehicle wasn't so lucky. Her face was badly cut. The passenger in the car with her took off his shirt to cover her wound.
It came from up there. I saw it coming down. It took off the front of my car, and I'm completely fine.
He recounted how scary it was.
I looked up and I saw
this big, huge piece of blue metal coming down, and I slammed on the brakes, and then it hit the front of my car. It was like slow motion.
There were tense moments in the aftermath. Police on the scene weren't sure if more of the crane would rain down.
Over there, away from the crane. It's already falling. It could keep falling.
A bus driver was warned to steer clear.
I don't want you under that crane.
It's a miracle the woman in the car wasn't killed.
Everyone knows that you can't park in front of a fire hydrant. Blocking access could be deadly in responding to a fire. But did this New York City firefighter go too far?
Fire burned through it.
The car is way too close to the hydrant, a clear violation. Now look, the firefighter breaks the windows. First the passenger side, then the driver's side. He then threads the fire hose through the car and attaches it to the hydrant. They were fighting a major 4-alarm blaze in the Bronx that destroyed multiple businesses. But did he have to break the windows? On social media, opinion is mixed. The owner deserves it. How dare they put other lives at risk by blocking access to the hydrant? But there was also this. I am a firefighter. That was 100% unnecessary. YouTube is loaded with cases where firefighters have no choice but to break car windows. But those cars were directly in front of the hydrants. In this case, could he have draped the hose over the hood of the car without impeding the flow of water? We showed the video to Nassau County, New York Fire Marshal Mike Utaro.
Time is of the essence for fires, and when there's a vehicle or any obstruction to a hydrant, they have to overcome that obstruction. I'm sure there's several different methodologies of what they could have done. They chose that method, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't second guess them.
So how close can you park to the fire hydrant without getting a ticket or having your windows smashed in? Your vehicle must be 15 feet from the hydrant. That is this far.
As for the owner of the car, reports say he's racked up 33 fire hydrant violations in the last 2 years, totaling more than $9,000.
Perhaps this individual had it coming to them.
A fast food worker fought back after an armed man forced his way into a Georgia restaurant. Surveillance video released by the Gwinnett County Police Department shows the back office of an Atlanta area ChickfilA. Gwinnett County Police say the suspect got into the restaurant around 4:30 in the morning by walking up to the drive-thru window and shattering it with a rock. A worker was followed into the back room by a masked man. Authorities say the suspect ordered the worker to open the safe. The employee did not have the safe's combination. Video shows the physical altercation that followed between the two men. They fought for several minutes, and the employee was able to remove the suspect's mask. The worker reportedly said it was thoughts of his children that encouraged him to continue the fight. The suspect fled the Chick-fil-A and was gone when the police arrived. This incident happened on July 1st. U.S. Marshals arrested the suspect on July 31st. He is now facing several charges, including armed robbery and aggravated assault.
After a customer at this Barista's drive-thru window complained about the cost of his coffee and threw it at her, she came right back at him with a hammer. Les Trent tells you what happened.
Things are about to get ugly at this drive-thru coffee stand. A customer has gotten out of his car, apparently because he's upset about being charged $20 for a coffee and a water. He wants $5 off, but the barista says no dice.
If you don't need, I'm going to throw this on you. You want me to throw this on you?
Okay, not exactly service with a smile. She hands him back his drinks and things really escalate. Here it is again. First, the customer throws the water, then the coffee. But the barista isn't taking it lying down. Yep, she smashes his windshield with a hammer. The video is dividing social media with comments like, if you throw a drink at someone, be prepared for them to respond, and not a good look.
I was trying to de-escalate as much as I felt was appropriate for the situation.
I spoke to the barista, 23-year-old Emma Lee. She owns the Taste of Heaven Bikini coffee stand in Seattle. Typically, to draw customers, she wears a bikini.
I have a hammer under the counter.
Why? Why do you do that?
For self-defense. In this particular business where women are alone, they are extra vulnerable. You need it.
It's a lovely holiday afternoon in the backyard. The kids are frolicking in the pool, the adults relaxing.
Enjoy Memorial Day. You having fun?
There's 2-year-old Mila. She's wearing floaties and having a great time. At some point, her parents take her out of the pool. The floaties come off. But somehow, Mila makes it back into the water. A nightmare is about to unfold. Mila's big sister screams when she discovers her face down. Dad Matthew Shortridge instantly makes a flying leap into the pool.
Well, when I jumped in the pool, I turned her over, and that's when I noticed she was completely blue-gray.
What went through your mind?
I thought, dear God, my baby is dead.
How lucky that Matthew is a nurse and knew just what to do. It so happens that a friend at the pool is a trauma nurse. What are the odds? 2 nurses.
My training kicked in. I started mouth to mouth. And then my friend, she's a nurse, she came down immediately at the same time. She began chest compressions on my daughter.
Gaston County 911. Kid fell in the pool. The baby fell in the pool.
Mila's mom hears the screams and runs out of the house. She rushes to her daughter, then gets down on her knees, arms raised, and prays.
I saw my little baby Mila, who was completely lifeless at the time, not breathing. It was just a heart-wrenching feeling.
Suddenly, the 2-year-old begins to breathe.
When she began to cry, I knew that she was okay.
Dad carries her out of the pool.
You feel her heart on my chest. It was wonderful. Then I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Daddy." And I knew at that moment, I just knew then, she's okay.
It's a miracle, and everyone knows it. One friend throws his arms into the air, and there she is, little Mila, wrapped in a blanket, alert, as they wait for paramedics in Gaston County, North Carolina. She spent the night in a local hospital for an evaluation.
Say cheese. This is our Mila, and she has made a full recovery, and we are so thankful and blessed.
Now, as summer begins, her parents want to get the word out. Stay alert to what happens in the pool.
You may have seen that amazing footage of the kid who jumps from his jet ski onto an out-of-control speedboat. It happened when the man at the controls was knocked into the water. It was a scene straight out of a superhero movie. Les Trent spoke with the teen who made that daring leap.
It's a runaway boat. It happened on a jam-packed lake in New Hampshire. The situation was dangerous. The boat's pilot fell overboard. Fortunately, 17-year-old Brady Procon was there to jump into action. Literally. Look, he's riding on the back of that jet ski and makes a flying leap onto the runaway motorboat. Some are comparing him to 007 himself, James Bond. Look again. Brady lands on the boat hard, but quickly gets behind the wheel and turns down the throttle.
I was still very surprised that I landed on that boat, and I was just trying to steer the boat somewhere, and hearing all those people applaud, it felt really good.
Look, one false move and he could have jumped straight into the outboard motor.
It was pretty close. If I missed it, I definitely would have went right into that propeller.
Brady gives credit to his buddy Justin King, who bravely steered his jet ski to the runaway boat. When you saw Brady nail that landing, what did you think?
He did a heck of a job jumping in. He didn't second guess himself, and it just all worked out great.
I wouldn't call myself a hero because obviously I do believe anybody would have done that if they had the opportunity.
A hero, and humble too.
By the way, Brady heads off to Navy boot camp in the fall. We predict he's going to do just fine.
You know all about the Old Faithful geyser at Yellowstone National Park, but this is even more dramatic. It's called a hydrothermal explosion, and as Les Trent tells us, you definitely want to keep your distance.
Run, run, run!
It looks like an erupting volcano. It's called a hydrothermal explosion. The phenomenon took place at Biscuit Basin in Yellowstone National Park, the result of pressure built up underground.
Run!
It sent sightseers running for their lives, fleeing boiling water, mud, and debris that rained down. Steve and Vlada March were touring Yellowstone and recorded this spectacular video being seen round the world. Vlada says it was a chaotic moment, and her only thought was to get her children far away from the eruption.
Run, 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 run!
You can hear me screaming, run, run, run. That was my only thought, to get as far away from that place. So I kept saying that to my kids so they don't stop.
Fortunately, there were no injuries, but the boardwalk was left in shambles. Meanwhile, we're hearing for the first time from the two men who were flung into the ocean after a humpback whale crash-landed onto their boat. The guys were fishing for herring when the 40-ton beast made an unexpected visit off Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
He came up, he opened his mouth, he had a mouthful of fish.
What is it like to be hit by a 40-ton whale?
So I felt the boat, have a hard shudder, felt the impact, but really felt the weight of the whale push the boat.
I looked back and I was like, oh boy. And then I threw the fishing pole basically into the ocean and kind of just Superman, like jumped away from the boat as far as I could.
They are grateful that two teens, the Yeager brothers, were there to rescue them.
Curious big cats had a close encounter with video technology. Keepers at the Oregon Zoo wanted a digital eye on their resident pride of lions. The zoo says care staff hid a camera in the lion habitat, but it didn't stay hidden for long. The surveillance device was quickly detected. With giant paws, the camera withstood being batted at, being sniffed, and eventually, the camera was picked up in a lioness's mouth and moved from its original position. Zookeepers didn't get the view they were expecting. Instead, the humans got a lion's eye perspective, complete with dramatic angles of life in the pride. Powerful stories that change the way you think. Impactful investigations that change the way you see.
How many times has your car been stolen?
5 times.
Yeah. What? Do you think that you're a responsible owner of tigers?
I damn sure do.
Heartwarming moments that change the way you feel.
Amazing.
Now available in a place that changes the way you watch TV. Inside Edition, streaming.
A man jumps on the hood of a car during a shocking highway rampage, and it gets worse. A few minutes later, the suspect is seen holding a knife as he stands on the side of the road, with blood streaming down his face. It's a scene of sheer terror. Cops say it all started when the suspect intentionally sideswiped several cars before coming to a stop. He then got out of his car and went on the attack. It all happened just before 7 a.m. on a busy Dallas interstate during rush hour. In this video, you see a nurse running to the aid of a road worker who had been mowed down by the suspect. Then, shockingly, the suspect, who had jumped into someone else's car, chases the nurse until she's hit and pinned beneath the vehicle. At one point, witnesses say the man jumped on multiple vehicles and even attempted a carjacking.
The person that was driving that vehicle wasn't having it, so, she drives off, that guy rolls onto the ground.
The suspect confronts another man who he ends up stabbing multiple times. The man on the rampage reportedly lost his job as a contractor the day before the chaos. Samir Sethi witnessed it all. Did it seem like this person was under the influence of something? Like, how are they acting?
He was screaming something about his job. He looked like he may have been on something. I think that level of, aggression and rage is usually, some kind of substance related. It was very early in the morning, and so just for all this to happen.
A suspected burglar is being chased out of a house with a frying pan? It happened when Chicago homeowner Jason Williams got an alert from his security camera that an intruder had broken into his house.
Came in the house, I looked, if there was an available weapon. There was a frying pan laying there, so I grabbed the frying pan.
There he is, chasing the suspect out the front porch with a frying pan at the ready. The homeowner takes another swing as the suspected burglar opens the fence and flees. Not so fast. Here come the cops. The homeowner is taking to social media. Hit him with a frying pan. Got him. Guy's gonna have a headache tomorrow. He posted this shot of the frying pan, still dented where it hit the guy on the noggin. Jason celebrated his victory with a special dinner, making swordfish basted in butter and garlic with asparagus, pan-fried, of course.
A suspect is in the hospital after police in Connecticut say he stole a police cruiser with an officer in the passenger seat and crashed into a nearby church. Police in New Haven say Stacy Footman approached the vehicle that was parked outside a police substation while an officer was in the car filling out a report. They say Footman approached the driver's side and yelled at the officer to get out of the car. When the officer went to exit the car to confront the suspect, Footman allegedly jumped in the driver's seat. The officer quickly got back in the car, but Footman put the car in drive and started to accelerate. The officer grabbed the steering wheel and crashed into a church across the street. Another officer came and took Footman into custody. Police say the suspect and officer both sustained minor injuries. Footman is still in the hospital, according to police, recovering from the injuries he sustained during the incident. He's charged with larceny in the second degree, kidnapping in the second degree, assault of public safety personnel, criminal trover in the second degree, and interfering with an officer. His bond has been set at $500,000.
It's remarkable video as flash floods rip through Utah. This man has to rappel down a rock face, escaping a massive torrent caused by sudden thunderstorms. My trip unexpectedly turned into a test of resilience and preparedness.
We really need to get out of here.
Motorists encountered nightmare conditions. Todd Peterson was driving with his family to the city of Moab.
We were all pretty shocked. The water coming, I was kind of wondering if it was going to push us off the road.
A husband and wife are believed to have been swept away in the floods. Miranda and Ray Yankowski's vehicle was found, but no sign of the couple. We spoke to their daughter, Ashlyn.
We are kind of having to shift our focus, from search and rescue to recovery and just trying to find a way to get them home regardless of the outcome.
Take a look at this. Hikers return to their SUV and find hoof marks all over the roof and hood. So what happened while they were on their hike? Even when they found out, they couldn't believe it.
All right, we made it to the summit of Blue Sky.
These friends are heading home after a hike in Colorado. But wait!
Oh my God.
What the heck happened to their SUV?
Dude, those are hoof prints. That is hilarious, and it went all the way on the top here, too.
What or who on earth made this mess?
Look at this! Ah!
Mindy Williford posted the video online and within hours was shocked to learn someone had caught the culprits in the act. Yep, those are some bad goats busting a move atop her cargo carrier.
I was just laughing so hard. It's just amazing. I didn't expect that.
Turns out wildlife photographer Michael Rhino was in the right place at the right time and caught the frolicking goats in the act.
I've never seen this photographing wildlife. I wasn't expecting the little dance moves and things like that came as I was doing that.
Just a bunch of silly billies. Case closed.
Subaru, the makers of the SUV, took notice and sent Mindy a box of merchandise. Pretty cool. We'll be right back. It started off as a friendly game of softball, and then the skies opened, and with it came hurricane-force winds.
These softball fans flee for cover as a thunderstorm sweeps through. 70-mile-an-hour winds whipped across the field as they run for refuge. Tom and Kara Berger were at the game in Lawrence, Kansas.
2/3 of the way through the game, a gust came up that we couldn't see the field at all. All hell broke loose.
Over in Omaha, Nebraska, it's raining buckets. This proud old tree fights to hang on. After a fierce battle with the wicked wind, the trunk finally gives way.
There goes.
My car!
I just got that on film!
A coffee truck was stolen with an employee still inside.
Looks like he's pulling a trailer right here that might belong to like a portable coffee restaurant or something like that. So this is someone's livelihood that we believe was stolen.
LAPD chased a suspect in a pickup truck that was hauling a coffee cart over Southern California freeways. Authorities say it was taken in an armed carjacking.
There was a weapon used. They have not said what they believe that weapon was, if it was a gun or knife or something else.
The owner of Matt's Coffee, the mobile coffee business, says the truck was stolen from a family member's driveway. The person who was inside at the time of the carjacking jumped out and is in the hospital recovering from road rash. Sparks flew as the chase came to an end.
Making a really wide turn, he's gonna lose control. Oh no! Oh, it was what I was so afraid of happening. That's someone's livelihood that just got lost right there. Spun out of control, we knew it was gonna happen, and the suspect out and running.
It took officers about 30 minutes of searching to find the suspect's location. The suspect eventually emerged from a porta potty and surrendered to police.
It's an epic meltdown at the airport.
Everybody's attention, run down! Run down!
That's a Spirit Airlines gate agent having a, well, spirited freakout at Hollywood Burbank Airport.
All right, now, you all want to get on this flight or not? Yes, we do. All right, so everyone's going to shut up, and we're going to say this once, and we're only going to say it again because we're frustrated as hell.
Kevin Ice shot the video before boarding his flight to Las Vegas.
Oh my God, it was the most chaotic thing that has ever happened to me at an airport.
An 8-hour delay from a morning flight led to a bottleneck at the gate as passengers from another flight gathered, overwhelming the boarding process.
A second gate agent tried to keep everyone calm, but things quickly escalated.
Please be quiet so I can think on what's going on. I don't even know what aircraft's here because everybody's screaming numbers. I don't know what I have. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what aircraft's sitting out there. I don't know what's going on. You guys won't give me a minute. Please give me a minute. Please.
Spirit Airlines tells Inside Edition the two agents have been suspended. We apologize to our guests for this experience, which does not reflect Spirit's high standards for guest service. This passenger says he's not surprised the agents have been suspended.
I hope these people learn their lesson.
Everyone's going to shut up, and we're going to say this once, and we're only going to say it again because we're frustrated as hell.
That's definitely not the Spirit. A squirrel is trapped inside a kiddie pool, and this woman is coming to the rescue.
Don't touch him.
I need gloves.
Don't touch him.
I have to help him.
She tries a chair.
I'm saving you. Let me save you.
It works.
Thank you.
Sort of.
You good?
Police say they were investigating a stolen pickup truck when the driver rammed into a police car.
Yeah, that's a ram. Black.
Video from the Dallas Police Department shows officers entering an apartment complex parking lot. The red truck drives out of a parking space and directly onto the hood of a patrol car. After the collision, 4 people ran from the truck. According to authorities, the suspects had guns, and though the Dallas police chief has confirmed that suspects did not shoot, police officers opened fire, hitting one of the suspects.
Shots fired.
This incident resulted in the arrest of 3 of the 4 suspects, including a 17-year-old. The youngest suspect is in the hospital with gunshot wounds. One is being held in jail on a $126,500 bond, and another is being held behind bars on a $150,500 bond. There is one suspect who has not yet been apprehended.
Yes, you're being detained. Have a seat. Yep, he's in the water.
A suspect allegedly tried to escape the heat from police by jumping in the water, but he didn't get too far.
Hey, come here. You got anything on you? Got a knife or anything? Yeah, I got one. Come here, mommy.
Police in Daytona Beach, Florida say they stopped a man walking alone on a bridge while they were looking for a robbery suspect from a nearby incident. While cops say they thought it would be an easy apprehension, the suspect clearly had other plans.
Yep, he's in the water. This is going to be him on the bridge.
It didn't take long for Marine units to catch up with him and fish him out of the water.
On the floor. Help him with cuffs.
Richard Martinovics is charged with robbery with a weapon and obstructing an officer without violence. in addition to 4 counts of violating his pretrial release conditions. He's set to be arraigned next month. His attorney had no comment.
A suspect tries to flee from police by scaling the apartment from the 2nd story of the building. You can see deputies with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office in Florida standing below the window on the ground as they say she tried to escape. From the inside point of view, deputies entered the building and used a canine to find the suspect. They were attempting to serve her with a felony warrant for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and discharging a firearm in public or residential property. Officers say rather than surrendering, she locked herself in a room and tried to escape, then went out the window. She seems to cling to the railing while figuring out how to survive a fall at the same time. She's eventually hoisted back inside. In a statement, the sheriff said, "To see our deputies shift from making an arrest to preserving life is commendable."
Man, please don't act like that. You're a grown woman. You're a grown woman. I'm 17. Get out of here. Don't come back. Don't come back. We don't need your business.
Kaylee and Victoria, employees at Kiki's Snowballs in Willis, Texas, showed perfectly how to handle an angry customer at work.
Pretty much, I go to the window and I'm ready to take this woman's order. And I open the window and she already looks upset. So I'm like, "Hello, what can I do for you?" She tells me that there's been a mishap with her order.
The customer says her daughter didn't get an order she paid for.
I need my $6 back. Huh?
Did she put in the number?
I came up here by myself, and I paid for a snow cone plus $6 extra. So when she wanted a snow cone, she could come up here and get it. When my daughter came up here and said, "My name's," y'all didn't give her the snow cone.
I'm just listening in the back, and eventually, I can hear she's angry the whole time. So I was like, clearly she just wants to have a problem or start something, and I'm not about that. So I was just like, okay, let me just go give her $6 and we can move past this. It was $6. Then the sign fell over, so I opened the window again to pick the sign up. That's when she comes by and slaps the sign out of my hand and calls me, you can see in the video what she called me. So I just told her, "You're a grown woman. There's no reason to be acting like that."
Man, please don't act like that. You're a grown woman. You're a grown woman. I'm 17. Get out of here. Don't come back. Don't come back. We don't need your business.
I was scared and very confused. I wasn't understanding what was going on. And Victoria's so sweet. She just sat there and just kept taking it. I was like, "No, you're not going to keep taking that."
The owner, Kyle, is proud of how they handled the situation.
The lady came up just already ready to you could just tell immediately she was not looking to handle this in an appropriate way. And then, and it was just the video is so interesting to watch because, she was standing back there just apparently listening, acting like she was not, but she was listening. And the sweetest girl ever, Victoria, is just taking this from this lady. And I was just like, this is way too good. And she just kept her cool and did that. So no, I think that was so good for sure.
The response to the video has been overwhelming.
People were traveling to come and see us from, hours away. We had people reaching out to us on TikTok saying, "Hey, how can we tip the girls? How can we tip the girls?" And so we even had people going and leaving Google reviews that hasn't even been to our shop, but they're like, "We're so proud of those girls and how they handled it."
Kyle hopes the video serves as a reminder.
To remind us all, really, that as adults, specifically working with teenagers, that problems will happen, and that through the shift change, we dropped the ball. So mistakes happen, right? But for you to go up and act like that as an adult, my whole point of uploading that video was to simply remind us all that we've got to treat people better. Our reputation has always been we're going to take care of it, we're going to make sure everything's good, and she just didn't give us that opportunity. I do think that the idea that we all need to treat people with kindness. If there's a time that we need to make something right, we always go above and beyond.
Glass flew as thieves took sledgehammers to jewelry cases. Police in Tampa, Florida released this video in the hopes that someone can identify the 2 people caught on camera committing this brazen crime. The suspects certainly weren't trying to blend in, wearing bright yellow and orange clothing, but their faces were covered by what appears to be black ski masks underneath wide-brimmed hats. This took place just after 12 noon at the West Shore Plaza Mall. According to police, one suspect started smashing cases, while the other kept employees and mall security back with pepper spray. The pair made off with some jewelry before fleeing in a silver Chevy Malibu. Authorities say no store employees or bystanders were injured during the robbery. They're asking members of the public with any information to call the Tampa Police Department's non-emergency number at 813-231-6130.
Hiking solo, 31-year-old Amanda Wiley suddenly realizes she's not alone. Is that a grizzly bear following her? You bet it is, and he's got Amanda in his sights.
You're okay. You're okay.
Laying eyes on the colossal creature, experienced hiker Amanda fights the urge to run.
I absolutely freaked out. Like, I started to move my body, and I was like, no, do not run.
Amanda calmly asks the bear to keep his distance. Just listen how polite she is.
Please don't come here. Thank you. Please go. Once I got like a couple 100 feet away, I was like, okay, this bear is calm enough that it's not going to be mauling me.
It happened in Montana's Glacier National Park.
Oh my God.
Do you feel lucky to be alive?
100%. Definitely lucky to be alive. Oh my God.
Powerful stories that change the way you think. Impactful investigations that change the way you see.
How many times has your car been stolen?
5 times. Yeah.
What? Do you think that you're a responsible owner of tigers?
I damn sure do.
Heartwarming moments that change the way you feel.
I feel amazing.
Now available in a place that changes the way you watch TV. Inside Edition, streaming.